How are you? It's
Yeah.
nice. It's nice to have you all on. It's nice to have a catch up as well. My name's Martin Alley. I'm the founder of Lincoln Spirit Seekers and the Power Family. We've been going for over 17, 18 years now. It's exciting. We've got so much coming up, so much going on. We've got public investigation, psychic nights, family fun days promoting unity within the community. So the actual word that we promote is unity. So we've got para unity, but then we also got unity within the community. So it's about people coming together, working together, supporting each other, and encouraging each other. So instead of just doing it in the paranormal, we brought in the actual community. Tonight we have got Darren Dykhouse on from Lakeside Paranormal. We've got Bob Sharp from LSS Scotland, and we've got my co-owner of LSS, Wendy Hollins. Would
Hey
you all like
there.
to introduce yourself? We'll start from Darren and then work our way down.
I'm Darren, founder of Lakeshore Paranormal, research team in West Michigan, located near Lake Michigan. I've been doing this for 10 plus years and started my YouTube channel in 2018.
Cool, man. Bob?
Yeah, I'm Bob Sharp. Still trying to come back to terms with being back in England instead of Scotland, and it's crap. I'll be honest. Paranormal investigator, into music, into a lot of mysteries, conspiracies, all the rest of it and stuff. Had a bit of downtime at the moment with a lot of work and this, that, and the other and stuff. Needed the holiday and ready to get back on the horse because. I don't know, sometimes it's just where life takes it, doesn't it? So, evening to you as well, Darren, and everybody else. All yours, Wendy.
Hi there. I'm Wendy. I've been working in the paranormal spiritual side of things for nearly 30 plus years, and that's all I'm going to go because I don't want to give away my age.
21.
I am a psychic medium witch, and I do tea leaves, I do palmistry, tarot, flower psychometry, and I also do spell work. I'm quite busy all the time, so sometimes I may look vacant because I've got 20 things going round in my head. But it's lovely to see everyone again tonight, and it's great to be back on the live.
It is indeed. Tonight we are streaming across Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So we are hitting a few different platforms tonight. Once this podcast is up and going and it's finished, it will be going on iHeartRadio, which is Radio Public, and it will also be going on Spotify as well. So let's get into it. So Darren, how have you been? It's been a while since we talked.
Yeah, it has. I've been doing good. Good things have been happening, and today I was actually on our local news station. That was awesome.
Wow.
That's all right.
What was that about? What was on the news for?
What's that?
What was you on the news for?
For the paranormal. Yeah, for my
Yeah,
YouTube
doing
channel.
what?
So,
For your YouTube channel.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome. 6.5 thousand views, subscribers you've got, bro. That's absolutely awesome, man. You know, some of your videos got 10,000 people that's watched it. That's crazy. That's something to be proud of, bro. That's absolutely something to be
I
proud
never
of.
thought it would come to this. I just, it started with me with a cell phone in a cemetery. So it just, keeps growing and growing and, evolving, I guess you could say.
Just the way
But
it's
that's
like.
good.
What's that? Wendy? I'm sorry.
That's good because I actually saw the actual article that you were talking about. I watched it because I'm nosy. But yeah, I watched it and I like the fact that the presenters actually felt something there as well.
Yeah,
So you're bringing it to a
cost.
wider audience.
That's absolutely awesome, man. That's absolutely awesome. So the actual reporter, felt it as well.
Well, their camera got corrupt. So I mean, like everything we filmed that day at the Ninica cemetery we were at, it got corrupt. There was no explanation, and even the guy was
How do you mean corrupt? So the viewers understand what you want
there
about.
was nothing. He
And me?
recorded all day, and there was nothing there. They tried to find it on the disc, but yeah, there was nothing. And then there was no
That sounds familiar.
Never had that issue.
What do you mean by that, Bob?
What's that?
Bobby said he sounds familiar.
Oh, that sounds familiar. Well, when Robert Bigelow bought Skinwalker Ranch, he spent 10 years with his investigative teams. And I've been doing a lot of reading and watching stuff. And they barely caught anything, although all of the investigators claimed stuff happened. But the cameras broke down, the recording equipment didn't work, things went wrong. Everything was always in a different place and stuff. But so it was basically all down to eyewitness accounts. Similar thing to what's happened to Darren. There's others, not going into, I won't go into it all. There's loads of it, where suddenly, oh, hang on a minute, batteries run out. And
Yeah. That's
odd. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I understand that. I've done that. I've gone on investigations, and you've got some awesome stuff. You really want to show it, and you haven't got it.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, that just didn't happen to me. Why did it happen to me? We did it. We did a fright. We did a paranormal night, public paranormal investigation not long ago. Us being LSS as well, we've getting some exclusive places that are signed just to us. And they actually signing contracts so they have to like solely go through us for investigations as well, which is pretty cool. It's like showing that that we can work together. What's happened with this place as well, I don't want to give a lot away, but since we've done any investigation, a lot's been happening, which on sometime this week we've got to do a contract deal, which it will be going on to our documentary, which is called Power Unity, and then it's also going to be going on Apple TV, and it's going to be going on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Prime, and that will be being launched next year. We have got things in motion as well for that as well. That's already up and going. It's starting to. We've got some things like in motion for that. A lot of this is like a bit of a surprise for you, Wendy and Bob as well, because it's what we've talked about for such a long time, but I haven't been able to find time to be able to communicate and talk to you both. So it's nice to be able to talk to you all three together, because Darren, I would love you to be part of the Power Unity documentary as well.
That would be awesome. Absolutely.
That'd be cool. So what was your best investigation? Because you've got so many different videos on YouTube, and I was just trying to count them, and it's like, I give up. I give up.
600 videos plus.
600 videos. I was going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. And the way that he put them in series as well was pretty cool, because it makes people easier to be able to follow it and be able to see what you're doing.
Yeah. And then I do short form content on there using some of my older videos, and that seems to be pretty popular too.
Like you're saying about like you do like investigations in cemeteries, is that your main sort of favorite place to go, or do you have like a favorite location?
Yeah,
And why?
I have easier, it's cemeteries are easy access, so to speak, and I'm in the country, so a lot of them are really old and interesting and a lot going on with that. But I've been to a lot of haunted locations around here, including some ships. One of them was actually the LST, and that's parked here in Muskegon on Lake Michigan. And that was a warship that was used to bring tanks and soldiers to Omaha Beach during D-Day. So
Oh, wow.
it's seen a lot of history, and it did 1,500 runs that day, that morning. So I mean, back and forth,
Wow.
there's a lot of prisoner of wars on that, and then now it's sitting as a military museum, so it has a lot of artifacts from all over.
So while going on this investigation on this boat, did you get any findings? Did you get any like?
Yeah, that was I was with another team, and he had actually Bill from Grasp. He had actually gotten really sick in the engine room, which we think was the most active. That's where they would bring the prisoner of war, the Germans, and they would make them do the hard work in the engine rooms. But a lot of the times they would bring women down there too. A lot of shady stuff was happening down there, and you know, who knows what went on down there. But it was very active. There was another team that seen a shadow figure down there, and Buddy Bill ended up getting really sick to the point he had to go back up and get some fresh air.
So you're saying like he became ill. How did he become ill? What sort of symptoms did he get?
It was really nauseous. Yeah, like to the point where he had to go back up, to get some fresh air. So something was going on to the point where he had to, and he's a big guy. He's been doing this for years, so it's seeing him have that sort of an effect. It was quite interesting.
Okay. What about you, Bob? Have you been on investigations which has implemented that stayed in your mind? And what about you, Wendy, as well?
Yeah, I've had something just recently that I'm not discussing here, but at some point I could do with a chat with you and Wendy. Something interesting. Although while I was in Scotland, I did a little bit of an investigation somewhere, and I got politely told to move out of the way. I've got it recorded. It's quite funny as well because this graveyard had a fantastic view of Loch Ness. And I stood, and do you know what? I don't know about feeling nauseous. I felt a bit insulted, to be honest with you. That big, you block the view. No, I think, nausea's a funny thing, isn't it? It's nausea, because I think sometimes people get nausea with stuff anyway. And I'm not saying it's not anything to do with the paranormal, but that's a normal effect that some people get with things, disorientation and stuff
What
like
about
that.
enclosed areas which might have been
in the dark.
What you're saying?
People go, "Well, I'm not scared of the dark and stuff," until they actually go and do it, and the lights are out, and then it's different. And then when stuff starts to happen, and there's odd noises and things around you, you become disorientated by the dark and stuff. Your brain takes over, and the paranoia takes over, and everything else and stuff. That is a really natural. Yeah, so you just read about it and hear it all the time. I've not noticed it myself.
I've been in investigations before where I've felt sick, and I've said to you, I think I've said to you, I've had headaches and
seeing you,
stuff happening.
Wendy get ill a little bit as well, I've noticed, but obviously Wendy.
Yeah. It's like Wendy's on another level to me because she's been doing it for many, many years. Is there anything that specifically sticks in your mind on investigations, Wendy?
Yeah, I was at a museum in East Ayrshire, and it was a boat museum, and you could go on all these different boats. And there was one, and we went in it, and we did an investigation just on this boat. And everybody had to get off because they were feeling seasick. And it was only the little cabin bit left of the boat, but you could actually feel the movement. We were all sitting there, and you could feel the movement, and it was horrendous. And everybody that came on went off feeling sick.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
and it was absolutely amazing just to feel that. There was lifeboats there. It was absolutely a fantastic night. But then there's other times that when they get in my head and they say, get away, keep out, don't come in, and you think, well, I'll just go in for a little bit.
So
I
I will
maybe
make
could have,
an investigation to Bradley Woods, and you saw the actual lady, and it's like, wow, that's the first time I've actually seen it as solid as what it was to you.
yeah, she was just like a real person. I mean, normally I see like shadows, and when I'm working, I can see them in my mind's eye, like a camera. But this was like you and me
Mm.
standing, and someone's just gone for a walk, like Will does.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it was just like Will, and she was a nun, and it
Will
was
is
just really
Wendy's
weird.
What's that?
Will is Wendy's husband.
My glamorous assistant.
He is quite glamorous.
Just saying who Will was, just so that people that don't know Wendy know who he is. Yeah, there's like so much within the paranormal field that still to be discovered
Mm.
and still to like understand. There's no experts within the field. There can never ever be.
No.
You know, yeah, they can be experts of using tools, using gadgets. If you've created the gadgets and stuff like that, yeah, you can be an expert of using that because you know how to work it, you know how to use it, you know. But even then, it's like, are you an expert? There's a big like question mark over that.
It's still done that with the tools. It's still nobody knows it, how. That's not true. There were a lot. God, here we go. I can't say it. But there are logarithms and stuff that are used with the machines that use the word banks and stuff. But they're only theory. Nobody knows if they actually work or anything. You know, I read one a while ago, and this bloke went through all this stuff, and he said, but nobody can prove it works. And then he posted 2 or 3 things where he got replies. There were obvious replies, and not just one of them, several of them. And then he went after that. He just went, now tell me what he doesn't work. He says,
Excuse me.
yeah, it's very in its infancy, isn't it? All of it.
I remember when I was little. When I first started the investigation, I went to a place called Nocton Hall, and we was walking through there, and I felt and sensed like an American soldier. I didn't know anything about the place, didn't know nothing about the history or anything like that. And I went through there, and I was like, "There's an American here," and clear as day on an EVP, which is electronic voice phenomenon. I got yes, and there's an Asian here. So it's like I acknowledged him, but then he acknowledged me. Clear as day. I wish I still had the recording, but this was like how many years ago? So I should keep stuff like that. What about you, Darren? Have you ever had like an investigation whereby you've seen or caught something is like manifesting?
I seen an apparition at the Unica Cemetery. I seen a woman in a white dress. She was wearing one of those 1800 dresses, and that was, that's something I can't really explain. So,
What's your best finding that you've ever had on your your best result that you've ever had?
we had,
And where would you be able to watch this?
yeah. So we had a shadow figure that my buddy actually captured for a while there. I had my good friend filming for me, and he was my cameraman, and he captured a shadow figure. We were doing an investigation at an old, like a 1920s. It was a loggers community at one point. So like the detached garage was actually a different home for like the house workers, and then the main house, it was pretty big. So down in the basement there was a lot of things going on, and there was this little thing crawling along the wall. It's pretty cool. But
I think your wife is on. She just wants to say hi.
oh, hi.
Just
And recently he was saying something about some apps. So I keep an open mind when it comes to the apps, but there was a new one, and I used it at a location where a friend of mine died. His
So
name
what app was this?
Necrometer, and it's almost
Necrometer.
like an Ovulus. It spits out one word at a time, but sometimes it'll do a full, like it said, 1940s at one location, but which was kind of interesting. But anyway, I ended up getting the word Andrew right where he died. So
Oh, wow.
his name is, we called him Andy, but his full name is Andrew.
So what made you go there to like investigate where he passed? Is it like the curiosity of like being able to communicate with your friend that did pass? Is it something that is it somewhere that you both used to go quite regular? Is it something? Is there history to the place?
Well, it's a famous pier. It was right there on Lake Michigan. He died surfing, he drowned. So, but a lot of people have died there. Probably 300, maybe more people died.
So obviously it's quite bad rapids and stuff.
Oh yeah, or falling off and hitting their head. I actually had another friend named Scotty who jumped off the end of it and hit his head.
Oh, what an hell!
There was rocks at the bottom, but yeah. So a lot of people have passed away in that area. It's a beautiful beach. So, I mean, a lot of people don't really suspect that, but Lake Michigan, it's fierce, and you have to really respect it when it comes to that. So.
I've heard this. I've watched shows about like surfers before, and they always say, always respect the sea.
Yeah.
It's like respect Mother Nature, respect the universe. It's the best way to put it, because whatever she can give, she can take.
I've fallen in the ice. I was taken in by a wave in February one time, and I was lucky enough my dad was right there and pulled me out, but I was completely underwater, and that water was freezing.
Oh no. It'd be a long flight for me going to an investigation to get my dad back.
Yeah, I try to stay away from the water.
Yeah, I do as well, Darren. I fell into a river in January
Oh my god.
in full winter clothes.
Yeah, I had a jacket on, and that pulled me right under.
You did it. What did you manage to save?
What's that?
My
It's the
cigarette.
most important thing to you, eh?
My cigarettes.
Cigarette.
Seems like we all sound like we're a bit Chief Brody out of Jaws, and the scared of the water and moves to be a copper on an island. Great idea.
Wow.
Obviously, we're not far from the water. Wendy's a bit further away. You've got Lake Michigan, Darren.
Yeah.
That's it, but there've been so many stories about the P39 and Cleethorpes.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much history to that.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of history from where I used to live in Bo'ness.
Yeah.
Because we're right on the River Forth. The road bridges and things.
Yeah.
I know a few people that have gone over the bridges yet.
Yeah, the road
a lot
bridge
of history there.
supposed to have a figure, isn't it? They're supposed people. I think it's that one supposed to see the figure there, and then when there's something about the figure, and when they go to have a look, they've gone, and they shouldn't have gone. There's like nowhere they can go. And, they haven't walked away, or they couldn't have walked away, stuff like that. Yeah, I'm sure I've read that.
I've heard something like this. I've heard like there's also been like a calling where people go looking for this person before they know it. It's like they're being in like a trance, and before they know it, the water's coming in, washed away. Is this about the same place or something?
It could be.
This is in Scotland as well.
Yeah, it could be. There's so much. It's like here though. It's so much stuff. Then you don't hear anything, because while I was away, I discovered that Loch Ness is not the only place with a monster. There's a place called Loch Morag, and I've seen the pictures of whatever it's photographing. Yeah, unbelievable. But it don't get heard of, does it? Because of Loch Ness. It's like I'm trying to think of somewhere. Darren will probably be able to tell us, actually. There's famous places here. There's famous places in America that everybody recognises because they're seen on TV and stuff. And here we have East Drive, don't we? East Drive. It's the thing.
That's it. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say with Darren, I don't know if how many he's done because I've watched some of his stuff, but the prisons, old penitentiaries, stuff like that, in places where people are incarcerated, that seems to be the big thing. And there seems in America, there seems to be so many derelict ones. It's incredible, unbelievable. They just everywhere's got them.
I think the thing with Nunica Cemetery is the reason it's been featured in articles and news and books and is that the whole town there burnt down in the 1920s, but before that the white settlers came in and they actually started burying people on top of the Native American burial ground there.
Ooh.
Poltergeist.
So I just
I thought straight away.
kind of took it right.
Yeah.
But you could tell that brought a lot of curses to the town itself, I think.
Is that an old mining town?
It used to be a big town in the 1900s.
It
But
used to be
now
what?
it's like one tiny little street. There's barely.
Wow.
Same as Roswell. Same as Roswell, New Mexico was one street with nothing to it except for a gas station and a couple of shops. And then when the story broke about, now look at it. Yeah.
It's like suddenly built up and everything.
Yeah. Now look at it. Yeah.
So you've said that you've been doing the investigation for such a long time, Darren.
Yeah.
While you've been doing these, is there any sort of like equipment or anything that you tend to use most? Is there anything like you know what? I'm not going on an investigation without that.
Usually my SB7 spirit box. Whether I'm still keep an open mind with the apps that I use and stuff. I get interesting results with those, but what I really use the most is probably the spirit box.
Yes, basically. See, I've got one of them, and
sweeping through the audio with that. And
would you be able to say what an SB7 is, so viewers will be able to understand what it is?
Yep. Sorry. The spirit box. It's a ITC, which would be the basically a radio that would scan through several radio stations very quickly through the white noise. And spirit's supposed to use that white noise, or it's supposed to stop on a word. They're supposed to manipulate that. So, they say that, if a voice comes through, it could be a spirit. But
So when I go on investigations myself, I love using dowsing rods. They always tend to be my favourite because I always say focus on my hands. So if it's moving, that's the dowsing rod's moving, not me. And I always say focus on my hands, focus on my hands. I've got a live on here, focus on my hands. So then it's genuine, you know what I mean? But it's like I was like Wendy, with her being a psychic, the best tools, what would you say is your eyes, your ears? What would you say that you prefer, or is there any gadgets that you like to use?
I like to use something that everybody can see interacting with me, because then they're getting what I'm getting in my head, they're getting through a device.
So like a
I like
would be the cat balls, the cat balls instant, where you can see the cat balls answering you. So what happened? We went out on this investigation. And when we went out on this investigation, Wendy was stood away from it, and we had some cat balls on the wall. So there was no way these cat balls could move. So what happened is, out on this investigation, Wendy was communicating with it. So like how me and you are talking, or how me and Bob and Wendy, it was communicating like that. So it was answering sentences, which was pretty cool. And then Bob, you smacked the wall to see if it was anything rocking it, didn't you, Bob?
Tested it
and jumped up and down.
Yeah. If it would move, kick the wall, everything, they just would not move. They wouldn't even light up yet. I've got video recording of Wendy stood there talking to it. Not just one answer or two answers, quite a few answers. Even when it's carried on flashing as well, Wendy's going, "You need to calm down and control yourself. Can you stop, please?" and it stops. I don't know if it's Wendy's politeness or anything, because I love the way she says please and thank you and everything. It's brilliant.
It's not a scary Scottish lady.
It's how it should be, but yeah, she's obviously got good command. But yeah, no, it's there. I mean, I've shown people it, and they're quite skeptical, and I go, well, I'll tell you what, you explain to me how that's working, and they look at you and go, I can't, and I'm going, well, then don't tell me it doesn't work then, because I mean, fair dues. Give me tell me it doesn't work if it doesn't work if you've got an answer. But if you haven't got an answer, then shut up.
That's it. It's
Yeah.
okay being skeptical. Come on, there's a reason why you were skeptic. Tell us why this hasn't worked.
But it was a good night. It was a very good night there.
Yes, it
We
was.
got a lot of answers that night.
Yeah. Was that the same night as the Coke bottle? The Coke bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But would have you two like to say what happened with that Coke bottle?
Go on, Wendy.
I'll let Bob describe that one.
Only because I nearly broke your up. We did human pendulum, didn't we? And it was dark. It was properly dark and everything. And we'd really gotten into it and stuff. And I don't know whose bottle it was. There was a bottle, Darren will know, a bottle of, I think it was 1.5 litre. No, it was. It's 2 litre bottle of Coke. And it had just been placed on the floor, on the grass, next to a wall. And it was really, I don't know if it was an intense moment, but
It'd been there all night, the Coke bottle.
Because somebody nearly broke Wendy's fingers.
Yeah, that was me, because I pulled round, and instead of letting go so I could have a look and see what was going on, I took Wendy with me. So, the bottle, it made a complete a thud, and it was on the floor, and we assumed it had fallen over, but straight away we was like, no, it did not fall over because it made too much noise. So afterwards, I with a bit of my mucking about, I worked out that if you took a full bottle, I think somebody might have took one mouthful out of it. If you took a full bottle and dropped it from about 4 foot, you'd have got the same thud. And that's how I don't know if you've ever done this, Darren. You know, where you've got something and it's so good that you want to be able to prove it. So you go back and you make sure you can debunk it as best you can, because somebody's going to try it. Well, we did with this Coke bottle. We all know it was on the floor. It made a thud. The only way I could make this Coke bottle make the same thud on grass was if you put it 4 foot in the about 4 foot in the air. I'm not standing up. I'm about 6 foot, and I think my chest height is about 4 feet. That's the only way I could get the same results. So, yeah, and it was on the floor, and we was all holding hands, except Wendy's fingers that I'm really break.
Yeah, it's the first time I've actually done a Kaylee move without the music. As I swung round.
To be fair,
I'm
pretty sure what we call it, I've come dancing or whatever it's called, would have given us about a 9 out of 10 there for that move.
Yeah. There might have been a few cover-ups of the language that was used.
Yeah, there was a couple. So I want to be cats is scratching.
How old was you, Darren, when you first got into paranormal, and what made you look into it? Because, for example, I was very young, and my granddad came to visit me. When I was little, that was my first encounter with a spirit. And then my actual first encounter, being a psychic, was when my brother fell 25 foot and broke both his legs. Nobody knew about it, and then I suddenly knew about it, and I was telling my brothers and stuff, and it was just weird. So that was my experience. What got you into it?
Yeah, I mean, it's been around me my whole life. So I mean, basically, I when I was young, I was getting visitations during night, so nighttime, I guess. But I didn't really know it was paranormal related until I got older. But it got pretty more obvious the older I got. So, then the one that really stood out to me was when I was living in the trailer park, and I heard running, full-fledged, someone stomping, down the hallway, and then a big kick at the door.
Ooh.
At the bedroom door, and no one was there,
Yeah.
And that was weird. So I really couldn't explain that. And then I had a medium give me a reading, and then basically confirmed a lot of the things that I had experienced throughout my life, and said that I'm an empath, and I kind of already knew that, but I mean, having someone like her, validate some of the things that I experienced, and no, I never told anyone, so there was no way of.
Do you ever feel like you was being judged because you were such? How old was you when it was happening?
Well, I had a lot of experiences when I was like 6 or 7.
Did you ever feel like you was being judged and like pushed away, like you couldn't really talk openly about it, about your experiences?
Yeah, I mean, I lived in a big family, so I mean, it's hard to get a word in, kind of like that. So, and I was always, sent to the doctor for, illnesses or, this and that. So,
What about you, Bob? What was your first ever experience within the world of the paranormal?
I was quite young, really. Mine was more to do with lights. I can never really remember how old I was, but mine was more to do with lights in the sky. Cause living in the middle of nowhere, I was born and brought up in the middle of nowhere, as you guys know, and I just used to spend all my time outside on a level crossing, and it was, the night sky. I loved astronomy and stuff, and I learned the sky at an early age. I can navigate by the stars. I know where everything is. So when you spot something odd and then something moving and not making this, you think to yourself, that's not right. And then, you say something to your dad and your granddad, and they both like take you aside and go, son, they used to go hunting a lot. This happens all the time. And when they realised I was interested, they used to tell me all sorts of stories. And I've seen stuff out, really odd stuff over the years and that. And
Would you be able to give us an example?
Sorry?
Would you be able to give us an example?
What do you mean when I was young?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been always, I think on my mum's side, come from a musical background. I used to, I always wanted to write music. I was never really interested in playing other people's stuff. So my granddad gave me some books and I used to learn. I saved up, bought myself this keyboard thing. And we had an old minivan that was at the sort of the side of the house, but it faced out over the fields and everything, and the woods and the trees and stuff. And I used to take it outside and just walk about and play and stuff. And I just quite like the twilight, the time. And, they're messing about and playing one night and stuff, and the first stars was coming out, which is the first star to come out over here is Sirius. The first planet is Venus. They're very bright and opposite each other. And I just playing away, and I just looked up and I thought to myself, "Oh, Sirius is bright." And then I thought, "That's not Sirius. That's not even in the right place." And I just thought it was odd, and then thought no more about it and stuff. And I was looking about tuning some sounds and stuff. And I looked up, and where it had been above Staves' farm, which was about 2 miles in the distance, like the nearest neighbours, it had moved and it had gone across, and the other star wasn't there. And then I thought, that's really odd. And I kept watching it, and I kept feeling, the strangest thing was, I kept thinking, it's not going to move because I'm watching it. So I tried to ignore it.
What's kettle scenario sort of thing?
Yeah, and it was really weird. And it didn't seem to pulsate or anything, and it should have been technically lower in the sky, that sort of thing, usually, the shimmer of the horizon. And the next thing I knew, it was always a clear night, a clear evening and stuff, but it sort of faded and it had gone. And that was it, it disappeared. And things, because the Earth rotates the way it was going, it should really have gone up the sky, as we moved around, but it didn't, it just disappeared. And that was the first time it was the wrong place. It was a light in the sky in the wrong place at the wrong time. It just totally shouldn't have been there. And after that, I started to notice all sorts of stuff in that, like you guys, but in a different fashion and stuff. Obviously, stuff.
You're interested quite a lot into the UFO.
I always have been. Yeah, sound and music and stuff like that. I always try to bring it into things that we do and stuff, because I'm really into sound and stuff, and it's quite it's quite a a thing.
Do you think it's about like musical vibrations? Do you think it's the vibration sound?
Well, there is a claim that the universe there's a calming. I always forget the frequency. There's supposed to be a calming frequency, and I have actually had some ideas about playing some tones and some different things at some levels while we're investigating, just to see if we can bring something on. I mean, if you're in a place and you know for a fact that there's a particular time in a particular place, and you're looking for something, say it's just, I'm just going to pick something out of my head, something from the mid 1800s. Look for a bit of music and play it, something that's familiar, something that's a lot of people would go to maybe an old war. I thought about this when we was at Wendy and Will's place. I thought to myself, I'm stood there thinking I should stick a bit of Vera Lynn on right now and see if we could get anything.
What's your opinion about this, Darren and Wendy? About like if you played like a set music, so for example, like using like Beethoven or Mozart or something like that. That's like that sort of era, and you've gone to like a place that that you'd be able to investigate. That's like happenings around. Do you think that like? Do you think it will cause actions or like spiritual encounters, sort of thing? Like with like playing that type of music, because like we're talking about vibrations and how things work. And now if you have a look at like spirits, they also work on vibration, so they use energy to be able to communicate. So do you think that music might be a good tool to be able to use on investigations?
Yeah, I think it would help in some circumstances if that was like in the shelters that I've got for the World War.
Yeah.
I think the Vera Lynn or anything taking you back to that era, even if it was like part of a uniform or something like that, maybe like a trigger object.
Yeah. I was trigger sounds as well. You know when we investigated one of the RAF Kermington and what you were saying, Wendy, and everything, and then we was on about it being a mechanics and everything and stuff. I knew this. Can you imagine taking in, rather than trigger objects, trigger sounds? So you have a recording of things being worked on and stuff. So you get that ambience of a reminder to spirit. That might work as well. See, everybody always goes with trigger objects.
What's your opinion, Darren? What's your feelings, or have you tried this?
We did. We actually tried that recently. We were playing we found some 1930s music, and we were playing it on the USS or the SS City of Milwaukee, the car ferry ship that we were on recently, and it's a 1930s car ferry. And it was probably the 1930s and 1940s was probably when it was, in its prime. So we were playing the 1930s music, thinking we would get a lot of responses with that.
Did you get a lot of response? Did you get a lot of like? Did it like happenings when you did do this?
It definitely changed the atmosphere some. It's tough there to get responses in general, but I definitely felt like it in a way lifted the spirits, so to say. It really definitely
it can give energy.
So it's like I've experienced, like for example, like I've worked in care homes for many years, and with like different people, if you play different music from their area, you can see them come alive. It's they're alive anyway, but you can see how it changes their demeanor, see how it changes their behavior.
Especially with Alzheimer's and dementia,
Yeah.
Yeah, and taking them back to their specific time. Is there's a thing in Holland where they have all the shops, and it's a certain era, like the 40s or 50s, and they do their shopping, and they find that the Alzheimer patients feel calmer, and they take them into the shops. And yeah, I think it's a good idea to bring the music and objects that can bring people back. So it must be like that for spirit.
That's very interesting. Do you think it might be something worth trying out on an investigation? So when we go to this Bradley Woods investigation, and we've got the event coming up on the 10th of November, do you think that it might be worth giving it a go and seeing what happens?
Yeah.
Just got to find the right thing, haven't we, or something that would. Yeah.
You okay, Darren?
Yeah, I've been sick for the past month. Well, actually, I've been getting better, but we had some weird lung and throat thing going on for a good month. It wasn't the C word, but you know.
Yeah, don't mention it.
God,
No, don't mention C word, please.
no, but whatever it wasn't fun either.
No,
I think there's a definitely a new COVID that's going around, and that can knock you off.
You know, anything like that. Yeah. I had the worst sore throat and worst.
To be totally honest, my opinion about COVID is that it's going to be something that we're going to have to learn to deal with.
Yeah.
It is going to be like a cold that we're always going to get it. It's going to come. It's going to go. We're going to get it.
Yeah. It's in the
air now.
Circulation now. There ain't nothing we can do.
No, it's probably been watered down enough, unless you get a virulent strain. Unless it's like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Andromeda strain, but if we ever get we're done if we ever get out like that. But yeah, unless we get something virile and dangerous, it's just going to be. I was trying to think of something that's new, that's modern, that we didn't, because people always go on about like tuberculosis and stuff, you know, that exists, but it's an old-fashioned type of thing that doesn't really exist anymore. But then there's new, modern things that we have. I mean, all right, no, not go with that one. There are obvious ones, but you know, the stuff that in the 1800s would never have been heard of because they're more to do with modern living. Because obviously, COVID, I just think COVID's a result of, unless you go with the conspiracy theories and it's man-made. The other one is basically Mother Nature just likes to go every so often. I'm boss.
Yeah,
yeah. And she is.
I think Mother Nature will always be the boss at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
have you got anything like new that's coming up on your channel? Like anything that you need to be watched out for?
Yeah, I mean, we got a couple upcoming videos, a few more cemetery videos coming up. Right now, we're just kind of trying to get some episodes in before the big freeze. So
yeah, it gets cold. It gets cold there, doesn't it?
We're already talking snow Tuesday, so I was like,
yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I'd love to have snow over here.
I've seen
it.
Should have been with me.
No,
can I ask a question?
Anything, but
Darren, something that made me think. Have you? It was just something from before. Have you ever all your investigations? You've done a lot. Have you ever been recognised by the spirits?
Not really.
Not really. I've heard of it and read of it. You know, where spirits get referred. People get referred to by. I just wondered. You know, we're doing so many. If you suddenly think, hang on a minute.
I haven't gotten recognized yet.
Yeah. You're not famous in the paranormal world in that way. Yeah, no, I have read of it, so I wondered because you've done a lot of investigations.
It was funny. A buddy of mine, well, I was in a old friend of mine who was in a video of mine, got recognized because he was in one of my videos, and he has his own channel. But it's like, I'm like, wait a second, you got recognized and I did.
It's my show.
But yeah, I'm sure it'll happen eventually.
Yeah.
I was watching the channel today, and every person on the street started talking to this guy, He was just trying to go magnet fishing. I'm like, oh man, he's got millions of subscribers. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
But at least he had a good attitude about it. I thought that was nice.
That's it, though. It's all about the attitude.
Yeah.
It's like
I'd have a good attitude.
it's
I'm
like
a good people. If you see me, just say hi.
that's it. It's like when you got an investigation, machine of a team. You know, speak to them. Don't try and work together. It's like it's like the whole thing of power unity. It's like support, promote, and encourage. So, if we go into that term, how do you feel about power unity, and what does it mean to you, Darren?
I just think it's we got to be mindful of each other, and now that we're all just trying to get our evidence and prosper in the field and do the best we can, but I think para unity has a lot to do with mindfulness as well.
Yeah.
To be respectful. I mean, me of all people, I've had my issues with some people, and it's okay to go different directions, and not everyone's going to get along, but the best we can do is try and keep pushing forward in the field.
Yeah, that's it. It's like it's like it's that encouragement part, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you enjoy something, do it. Like doing something, you want to be encouraged doing it. It's like, for example, if you've got children and you see them playing with something or they do something, you'd encourage them to do it because they enjoy doing it. It's like, come on, let's go out and play. Let's play Lego. Let's do something, and that's encouragement. Is in general. The sport is about like sitting there and spending time with them and doing it. And in the paranormal field, it's like, yes, you got this team over here, you got that team over there, like for example, LSS and Late Show Paranormal. But how do we come together? We come together by doing podcast. And so in that, we support each other. We're having communication. What would you say, at least twice, 3 times a week?
Yeah. I mean, I guess, I mean, it really doesn't matter. I mean,
it's like
as
that's
long as, everyone's got a life. So, I mean, it depends, really.
That's it. But I'm assuming when you got an investigation, it's like not to be negative with each other.
Right. And, not to be negative or spread rumors or hate or
And treat everybody equally. I think that has to be the way.
That's it. If you've got like some way that somebody does something, it doesn't mean it's wrong or it doesn't mean it's right.
No.
Everybody has their own way of working.
Mm-hmm.
That question you put on Facebook sometime last week, I think I remember. It was while I was in Scotland, Martin, and it was like, you don't expect everybody to jump in with para unity. But I think I did put this. It's not because some people, I have seen people discuss this or something similar, and they say, "Oh, it'll never work," blah blah blah, and this that.
Yeah. You always hear that.
I don't know. I don't normally put anything, but on this one particular occasion, on something else, I didn't. I put, but nobody's forcing you to become part of a clan or team or something. What they're saying is, some people are saying this is have a safe haven for somebody to be able to join, and just even if they only go, God, some people probably join and all they ever do is maybe watch the podcasts or they just read about what goes on and stuff, but they feel like they're part of something because somebody's gone, yes, just join us and borrow. I'm going to weird analogy, borrow a book from the library, but we don't buy what you've read.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're not the next third rifle. We're really awful.
I think it's always nice for someone to say you've got it right. I had a lady yesterday and she came all the way to where I was to just say thank you and that I had got everything right and that was it. She was coming to me and it was so nice to have someone come up and say, yeah, you're on the right track. Your work's really good. Because you put time and effort into it. And it's just nice every so often to get well done.
Yeah.
See, the main key thingy is unity. And unity is, it's about, I say, promote, support, and encourage. It's the best thing. It's the best things I can say.
Yeah.
Uh,
Together. Trust
um,
me and things. Yeah. Feeling like you're safe to be able to say, how you feel and stuff without being judged on, oh, that's a load of rubbish. That's not true.
Yeah.
Because I've had it and I've seen it, and nobody's got the answers. No, because let's face it, we would all know what ghosts, spirits, and the rest of it was if somebody had the answer, and nobody does. So therefore, everybody's theory, no matter how crackpot it is essentially
Just as important.
yeah, and you should be able to, you should be able to say it, and as wacky as it is, and that's how I feel about it.
Yeah,
I totally agree with that.
when you're with people, you shouldn't be scared to give your ideas out there. Yeah,
That's it.
you shouldn't
Absolutely.
be knocked down for believing in something else. I mean, you like UFOs, Bob, and that's fab. I mean, you've got me into it now. I'm watching stuff on Discovery.
It's happening around it. It's
I'm
become
watching.
a lot of sightings.
Well, actually, there was something weird the other night in the sky, right? It was when the Aurora Borealis was about.
Yeah.
And I think I saw it just for a flight, just slightly in the sky. And it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I do actually start looking up in the sky now and thinking, I don't really want to see anything.
This what I'm about to say fits in not just with like UFOs and stuff, but it fits in the paranormal as well with the ghosts and the spirits, right? People's attitude and the way people are day to day. We all live our lives. We all go to bed, we get up, we do whatever we do, and then we go to bed again, and that's it. Our life. We work, we investigate, we do whatever. We'll shop anything. Yeah. And most of us, when it comes to UFOs, most of us are here. We're right here. If you take your hand and put your hand above your eyes, that is what you see. And above it, most people don't. A flying saucer could literally be above your head. And if it was silent, you wouldn't know it was there, because this here is what we all see.
Vision,
around, because that's our world. This here is our world below my hands. Paranormal's the same.
Sometimes see a little bit different, but there we go.
Yeah, but see, I get in trouble when I'm driving by my missus because I'm always looking at stuff. But the paranormal's the same. I think I said this on one of our podcasts. So many people say that over the years that they've seen spirits, very, very solid spirits. Well, in that case, how do you know you've not seen one? Because in an ordinary day to day, unless you're in the middle of somewhere, unless you're somewhere and you see somebody completely dressed differently, like you. I don't know. For me, it would be I'm in the Birmingham Civic, and there's somebody walks past me dressed in something from the 1700s. You're like, what?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, a lot of us would be ambiguous. No, I can't remember the right word. We wouldn't know. So we attribute the noises. A lot of us do. We'll attribute the noises and stuff that we hear and just go, it's just the house cooling down, or it's just because we always look for the mundane and everything, which is fine.
Yeah.
What's your opinion about UFOs?
Darren?
Me?
Your opinion, Darren.
Chat, sorry. I've had a couple experiences when I was younger. I did see like a barrel-shaped object in the sky floating above our house, which was kind of weird. But other than that, I've seen the strange lights. Not like super close, but whether it's a satellite.
Me and seen lights quite close.
Yeah, and me and my missus have seen lights really close. But other than that, yeah, really close.
I can't say for certain, what those were.
I've
But
seen strange
definitely,
things.
I'm
Yeah.
all for the UFOs and stuff like that, and I'm loving all this declassified stuff too. And it's really,
Yeah.
Is that,
Yeah.
what do you think about this, like, new, like, what the governments are bringing out and all these talk that, you see on TikTok and over social media, like, about, like, they're trying to say, yes, there's such things, but then at the same time, they're going, I can't tell you this.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They want to tell us.
Human biologicals is the
And when they
latest
say
term.
when they say leaked, it's more like released.
Oh, they've done it on purpose.
Yeah.
They're hiding something else.
They
That's
know
why.
what they're doing.
Whatever it is something. But there is a thing. Right, there's a long-standing theory that there's an object moving through the solar system, which will cause something quite drastic on the Earth. Maybe it's true, which is why they're throwing out the UFO stuff, because it's putting us off something else. Because if they're willing to give up on the UFO stuff, something must be pretty big. But I don't trust them. I've never trusted any of them.
Yeah. Unless
You
it's
can't, yeah.
maybe.
Bring down the government.
It'll be like,
Yeah. I've been watching Skinwalker Ranch and
Yeah.
the next episode, Beyond Skinwalker.
Yeah.
Now I don't know anything about UFOs because it's not my
No.
thing. But the experiments that they've been doing
Yeah.
show how the energy around things works.
Yeah.
They've
There is-
actually managed to show a portal, which is fab.
Yeah. There is a lot to do with the starting to people are starting, especially in places like that, to make this connection between the paranormal and stuff, and then UFOs and all the rest
You
of it.
look on the live, don't you?
Oh, hello. I've got one. Ginger's just gone and sat down in the box.
It's like,
Mine are all in bed.
if you look at our technology, the technology that we've got that we're over our time, for example, the Atari to the Super Nintendo to the PlayStation to the PlayStation 2 to the 3 to the 4 to the Xbox One to the Ovilus. You know what I mean? Look at the graphics.
Yeah.
Look at what we're doing right now. We're talking to somebody that's in the United States of America, and that's all over the internet. You know what I mean? That's over the internet.
well,
What gadgets and what tools have the government got that have not been published yet?
Release.
For example, look at Google Maps.
I
The
believe
government
had a
before
lot
we
of reverse engineering weaponry since the 80s.
Yeah.
Heard.
Welcome to the world of Bob Lazar. Yeah. Yeah.
I've
Interesting.
not got enough space in my head.
I don't know whether to believe it. Sorry,
yeah, I don't
what was
know.
that, Wendy? Sorry.
I've not got any more space in my head to think about
No. Well,
theories and
I had more space in my. To be fair, if a fly went in my ear, it'd be a space invader.
I think the one that I would like to do the most, but I think it would be the one I would be most terrified of, is looking for Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be terrified of that. I'd be more.
I'd be terrified of the
I want to
snake.
look for a Bigfoot, but they'll end up going paranormal and looking for ghost. And they're being diverted.
Finding ghosts can't hurt you. Well, I know we're going. I know you're going to go demon and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but then guys and stuff like that, there are spirits that can hurt you.
Yeah, well, the obvious ordinary spirit isn't, because it doesn't want to do that, does it?
Okay, easy.
I get what
don't give me all that. Don't turn. I'm going to do it. Don't turn Zach Bacon on me and go, it's all a demon, because do you know what I mean? There's got to be friendly spirits out there. Come on.
But right, wait for it. I've heard a different thing, right?
Yeah.
Is the devil not working because they're putting out that demons don't exist everywhere, right? So if we're saying no, it's not all demons, then
Yeah.
we're leaving some poor souls to deal with that by themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, I'm not saying that it's as busy as like every single one is a demon, but we're maybe slipping a little bit in saying that evil doesn't exist all the time.
Yeah. No, evil does
Because
exist all the time. It's around
good
you all
can't
the time.
exist. Good can't exist all the time if
No.
evil doesn't. There's
Yeah.
got to be the yin and the yang.
Well,
Yeah.
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 Like my language, that for every good there's bad, for every bad there's good.
Yeah. Look at last week in America. The fellow that just drove a car and would he shoot 22 people? I can't remember where it was. Somewhere in
Scary.
America.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
scary. And
Scary, yeah.
That-
And it because wasn't it you, Wendy, that said? I can't remember if it was Wendy that said. I think to be fair, I think Wendy said it, and I've heard Gary and Andy say it. Is that people in death are just going to be the same as they were in life.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
whilst
my saying.
they may not be demons, they're still not going to be very nice people. So yeah,
You can get your evil people. I mean, look at all the serial killers.
yeah,
Yep.
Look at Jimmy Savile.
yeah,
He's an evil, evil man.
yeah, yeah. Even more
But
so, trusted by so many people. It's a terrible
yeah,
thing. Yeah. It's the power, I think it is. That it does make you often. It's strange you say that because it often made me wonder a lot about, the likes of maybe Adolf Hitler or something, who was obviously so charismatic that he could get anybody to do what he wanted for him. And he took a small country, and not that small a country, but a country, and nearly took over the planet.
What I thought was totally weird is that he wanted to make the supreme race that was like blonde hair, blue eyes, but yet he didn't have blonde hair, blue eyes.
No, that was just, I don't know. It comes from a reason. I just can't remember where. It's a very old Germanic thing, I think, or something. I remember rightly.
it's quite as we're talking about that, right? It's quite weird how we're all at the Israel and Gaza war when
Oh,
there's
yeah.
still a war going on in
Ukraine.
Russia, Ukraine, and it isn't mentioned at all now on the
Media.
news.
Yeah.
It's a media thing, isn't it?
I just find that strange.
Yeah,
And then don't you think that it's weird how it's gone off from COVID to war?
yeah.
Mhm.
COVID's not a thing. You're going to work and everything with it now. I don't know about America, but
The horsemen of the apocalypse.
Went from COVID to aliens to
You
wildfire
yeah,
to
it-
war.
it's war, and it's like it's covering over covering over covering. I think if you have a look in your whole lifetime, there's always been some kind of threat.
Mm-hmm.
But once that threat's gone over, there's another threat. When that threat's gone over, there's another threat. Look at COVID, mad cow disease,
bird flu.
Foot and mouth.
bird flu, foot and mouth, war in Bosnia, war in Ukraine, war in Israel, World War III might be happening. That's all over which over TikTok. So many different things. There's always will be a threat, no matter what happens. It'll always be there because I think it's part of control.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, definitely. The media
war.
want you to see what they want.
Out of war, there's so much money to be earned, and it's like, for example, it's like with COVID, within a matter of weeks, the managed to get a jab that was sorted to be able to cure, that was able to protect you or like solve like certain things. So you couldn't get as bad illness from COVID.
yeah.
There's so many charities out there raising funds for certain illnesses, but yet they've still not found it.
Yeah, cures for cancer and stuff like that. Yeah,
Profit, it's all profiteering.
Yep.
Yeah, well, Pfizer did over it in well, in Europe. I don't know about America. I think it's different. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. But I think it's become, especially, I mean, over here was a bit slower, but in America, Darren, I think, can attest to this. It's become like the paranormal went from being skeptical's the wrong word. It just was a thing. People, so if somebody said, "Oh, he's a ghost hunter" or something weird, they'd go, "What? He's best mates with Dan Aykroyd," and all the rest of it. But now, I think that film's like 40 years old or whatever. But now, you look at it now, it's celebrity status and everything else and stuff. And you go, "Oh, I'll do a bit of ghost hunting and stuff," and it's like, "Wow, God, Warren, must be cool."
The thing is,
Everyone wants to be.
spiritualism in the last century or two, the last century, I would say, was in a back room hidden because it was against the law. In the 40s, someone got done as a witch, because they were given premonition. It's mad. It swings and roundabouts.
The times change, but does it mean that we all, like I was saying before about the whole thing with the looking above it, not looking above you, and all that? Does it mean that we all take more notice now of things, and you got? I don't know. I think a lot of the times, if somebody says to me, "Oh, what do you do? What do you do in your spare time?" and I just go, "I quite like the paranormal and I like it." Oh wow! And they'll either know somebody or they've had an experience themselves. Yeah, and that's everybody.
What's your opinion about this, David?
What's that?
What's your opinion about this?
Well, I think with the UFO stuff or just like the paranormal in general.
Paranormal part of it all.
Yeah. Well, I think there's been a lot of sensationalism in the media, that's for sure. Especially in the U.S. And then it's gotten saturated with a lot of people just trying to fake content, and try to stick true and do it and to debunk and try to be honest with our evidence and this and that.
I get that, man. Right, I'm going to bring it to an end. So I just want to say thank you all for coming on tonight.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for the viewers for watching. We'll see you again next Sunday. So I do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Okay. Good night.
Bye.